someone like me, a woman in science communication, someone very special, because it's a person who is quite rare in the world of research. It's a female physicist from the University of Luxembourg. Our second winner is Susanne Siebentritt. Congratulations, Susanne. You are the head of a laboratory for photovoltaics at the University of Luxembourg. As I said, a position that is quite rare. There is unfortunately not enough women in grade A positions at universities, and so I'm really happy that you received this award tonight. Now, we have a video about you and your awardees as well, so let's watch that.
Susanne was my best mentor. She is a big optimist and a believer. I spent my 2 happiest years working for her, and I became a better person.
Susanne, as my mentor, gave me the right combination of freedom and the support I needed when I needed it.
She always manages to keep a friendly work environment, and one can always count on her support either for technical discussions, networking, or general career or life decisions.
My name is Susanne Siebentritt, and I'm heading the wonderful team of the Laboratory for Photovoltaics at the University of Luxembourg. I am very thankful that my former PhD students nominated me to receive the FNR Award for Outstanding Mentor.
Without Susanne, we would have never developed into who we are. I don't know if we can ever repay her for what she did for us, so the least we wanted to do was to nominate her for this award. I think it's a beautiful opportunity to give something back to her and show her how much we appreciate everything she did and still does for us.
I have spent much time in different countries and institutions, but the moment that I joined Susanne's team, she made me feel like I am part of a family. Everyone keeps being united over the years. Even after some of us left for different positions, research, countries, jobs.
My mentor is the kindest person I know. She will always be supportive and attentive. She cares about our work as much as our well-being. We never hesitate to seek her help if we struggle with anything, and no matter how busy she is, she will take time to advise us.
We are all researchers. But first of all, we are human beings. And I think it's very important to keep in mind that during a doctoral degree, a person can be especially vulnerable. So it's important to create trust and offer guidance to each personality to grow individually at their pace.
As my doctoral studies is ending, I am in a position to reflect on the challenges I had at the beginning of and during my studies. Susanne always offered support through guidance and encouragement to find my way.
Susanne has inspired me during my PhD. She is really excellent in her field and always willing to give suggestions to improve my professional and problem-solving skills.
It's wonderful to see the students around me learn how to fly. For some it's easy, for others it's a bit more tedious. But when everything works out in the end, it's one of the most fulfilling experiences for me.
During my PhD, I wasn't always sure if I wanted to stay in academia. It did not always work out great, and at one moment I thought about doing something else entirely, outside academia. When having these doubts, Susanne would always help me to find new research directions, which led to very interesting results. Now I plan to not only stay in academia, but also start my own research group.
Some doctoral students want to become famous scientists during their career. Others want to leave research after graduation to have a job at a company, some in Luxembourg. And no one is better than the other, as long as they always keep up the good work and they're satisfied with what they do. I hope that every early researcher believes in themselves and that they have goals and dreams. My role as a mentor is to support them and to help them grow.
I totally get it. I have seen this video 10 times and I still feel like her. It warms your heart, really. So I hope you like it and you can watch it again and again and again. Now, please, you must have also people to thank.
Yes, I do. First of all, I would like to thank Hossam, who probably joins us online, and Mohit and Max, who are here, who have proposed me for the award, and I'm very grateful and feel very honored and very touched. And of course, the whole team for supporting the nomination and for making the great video. It's a very moving moment. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for being a great team. I think nobody can be a good mentor without a great team. And you are a great team. You do great research, you publish great papers, you enjoy discussions, you try to understand things, you make good solar cells. It's wonderful to work with you. And we survived difficult times together. During COVID, you couldn't go to the lab, and for a long time you couldn't go to the lab as you wanted. And you never gave up hope and confidence. And now COVID is over, and we're trying to catch up with all the conferences and events. And I know that most of you were really stressed in the last month, but you still took the time to make this video. Thank you. And I also want to thank you for sharing the dream. For sharing the dream of a better world, which is powered to a large part by solar cells. You do your research because it's fun and it's exciting, but also because you believe in what you do. You believe that solar cells can help to make a better world. And I thank you for all this. Thanks.
Yes, indeed. Susanne's research is, of course, more relevant than ever in these days. But coming back to your mentorship, what has influenced your style of mentoring your students? Do you have a specific memory?
Yes, okay, I observed good examples and bad examples, and I learned from them. But there was actually a book that was very important, which I figured now I read it 30 years ago, approximately 30 years ago, a long time. And it's called The Female Advantage, and by Sally Helgeson. And it's what she followed several female business leaders and female CEOs and studied their leadership style. And it was probably the first book that gave advice to women to be successful, and the advice was not to become like man, but to take the female advantage. And these women that she portrays are successful women. They know how to compete, but their leadership style was not competitive. Their leadership style was inclusive and caring. And a picture that appears all over in these studies is the picture of the web. So hierarchies are not so important, but it's more the connections, the relationships, and to make everybody's voice heard. And this model of leadership impressed me very much, and I liked it, and I think I internalized a lot of this.
Wonderful. And that style of leadership is, in fact, can be a model for not just men, women, and you're a role model on so many levels for young girls, female scientists, male leaders, so thank you for all that. Now, in the video, you talk about that you want to build trust. How do you specifically create that environment to build that trust, especially at the beginning of a new relationship with a student?
Honestly, it's hard to say. There is no recipe. I think one thing is important, that I didn't forget how stressed and also sometimes inadequate you can feel during your PhD and as a young postdoc. And I send the message that I hope I send the message that it's okay to be disoriented and okay to feel lost. In a way, this is part of doing science. We discover new things and they confuse us. But I hope I also send the message that we're in this together. We're gonna fix it together. And I think the dream that I mentioned, I think that also helps. That we're having this common goal to work for a better world with less energy crisis, powered to part by solar cells.
Wonderful. So thank you very much, Susanne.